Just metres away from the iconic Blackpool Tower, situated in this desolate car park, stands a conspicuous, fragile tent where homeless Sarah and Dech call their home. But instead of sitting on the street begging for money like most homeless, it's from here that Sarah and Dech can earn a little bit of money through donations for food and sometimes accommodation for the night by simply sharing their story on social media platforms. Is this the new era of street begging?
Sarah and Dech, thanks very much for doing this.
It's alright.
Where are you both from originally?
I'm from Manchester.
And I'm from Grimsby.
What brought you to Blackpool?
Basically moving in with somebody, and she ended up saying that we had to become swingers, so we ended up getting kicked out by her because we didn't want to do it.
It was like a partner was like, well, it was like a boyfriend as well was like telling him, oh, if you do this, you'll able to get things for free while your missus is getting. I was
like, nah.
No.
Wow, so you've basically like almost trafficked into that world. That's crazy. What was growing up like for you both?
My childhood was very bad. At the age of 8 or 9, I found out my mum was a junkie. She was badly on the smack like, and I started smoking cannabis just to deal with it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then her boyfriend decided to weigh the boiler in, and all the smackheads were like stealing my food. We didn't have no water, we didn't have no clean clothes or nothing. So the school got in contact with social services that came round, sort the state of the place. There was me and my younger brother and my older sister at the time. They removed us all out of the home. Me and my sister and my brother got split up. My brother and my sister went to another family member, and I went to a different family member. And I was having these episodes at the one that I was staying with, I was having episodes in her house, and she couldn't deal with it no more because I kept on like breaking stuff like without realising. I would just walk through the door and I'll just like have a flashback, and my food would have gone everywhere. And then there was another time that I had a flashback, and I literally smashed my whole bedroom up. So she was like, I can't have you here no more. So she gave me to my second auntie. And she knew that I was smoking cannabis because obviously I couldn't deal with anything what happened to me, because I got sexual abuse when I was a kid as well, because my sister was in a house fire. She was in intensive care for 3 weeks, so my mum had to go up there and look after her. And then it was her boyfriend's cousin who raped me along with all his friends while she was at the hospital. And that's another reason why I got taken out of my mum's home as well. And I got placed with my brother and sister. My sister left the home when she was 15 because my auntie was too strict with her, just didn't like it, then she moved out. And then my auntie put me into a care home at the age of 13 to the age of 14, didn't get out of the care home till I was 15. Then I had to go back with my mum at 15, knowing the fact she's still on the crack and smack. And then I met my baby's dad at 16, didn't get with him until I was 17. And then I got pregnant at the age of 20, had my kid at 21, got my son taken off me at 18 months. And then in my early 20s, mid-20s, I met someone who was like a dad to me. He clothed me, cooked me meals and everything, drove me everywhere that I needed to go. And then his two sons, he's got two sons, he's got an older son and a younger son. The younger son had like too many problems, and he kept going back to social services and school lying about his dad, so he got taken off his mum and dad. Then his dad started drinking like really badly overnight, and then I found him dead the next morning.
Oh fuck. So you haven't had the greatest start to life at all, have you?
No.
You just had no luck at all, have you?
And I've got mental health as well. I suffer with bad PTSD, emotionally unstable personality disorder, anxiety and adjustment disorder.
Yeah. So how do you cope with that now? Do you
smoke weed.
You smoke weed? And is that your coping mechanism now, is it? Yeah. Dech, what about your upbringing?
Basically, my mum and my dad was basically alcoholics when I was first born, and they was drinking all the time and stuff like that. And then I ended up moving in with my nan. Right. And then my nan died in 2016, and then basically the council took the house. So I went off the rails and started smoking spikes. I was really addicted to it. I couldn't stop for about 4 years, and I was getting attacked when I was asleep on it and everything in the Manchester city centre. And then I died 4 times in an ambulance, and then they brought me back alive, and then I ended up saying that I quit in spice. And then last year I ended up bumping into Sarah on that, and then I ended up getting with her. She got me off the alcohol, and I just started basically, I just started speaking to her, and then I moved in with her and a baby dad, and then a baby dad kicked us out, and then we ended up homeless again.
So how long have you been homeless this time?
Over a year now.
Over a year?
Yeah, I've been on and off since 2016.
This is my first time ever being homeless.
Really? But the unique thing about you two is, and how I come across you, it's almost like, when I was talking to Deck then, it's almost like 21st century begging, isn't it? Like you're both on TikTok, and people basically talk to you through your lives, and they interact with you a lot, and they send you money for hotels and McDonald's food. So it's crazy, but it's almost like 21st century begging, isn't it? In a way, you're not on the street. So basically what I do, I raise awareness for the people that are on the street, you know, that are begging on the street, and it kind of, when people hear their story, they always go back to that person. I get a lot of good feedback about that, and they go back and they help them out. Whereas you're cutting out the middleman and doing it yourself, really, on the internet, and people get to know how genuine you are, how nice you are. Your story's heartbreaking. You know, both of you have got everyone's got a story.
I when I was about like the age of 12, because I was doing martial arts, and the martial arts teacher, I didn't know it was sexual grooming, but my auntie went on the history on the computer, and she got the police involved, and they said, yeah, it's sexual grooming, what he's doing to this young girl. I went to court, he denied it, then we went back to court, and then he pleaded guilty because when the police went round to his house, he had a wife and 3 kids, 3 little girls, and they took all his devices on his computer, and there was like over 2,000 indecent images from the ages of 14 to 16.
I got sexually abused as well once on the streets of Rochdale. I met this guy in the bus station. He said, "Are you homeless?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I'll pay for your hotel for you." He paid for my hotel. I thought he was going to leave straight away, but he didn't. He ended up staying in the hotel and sexually assaulted me in the hotel. But I'm not going to lie to you, I smacked a bottle off his head to try and run away. And then the police and everything came. They ended up arresting him, and I ended up having to sleep in the police station overnight, and all my stuff was put in evidence bags and everything.
And people basically take advantage, don't they, of the homeless. What about now? Do you feel safe at all on the street?
We didn't. Not really, because like we were sleeping in an abandoned hotel called the St James's. We was like sleeping on the first floor. Second floor was it? And underneath us, someone set a light underneath us, and
it was good. The fire brigade busted the bedroom door off and said that it was that monster coming underneath the floorboards above us. That's
another common thing as well. Like, but I don't get why people want to set homeless people on fire.
Then we put the tent down there, and then 18-year-olds thought it was funny to throw rocks at us.
See the bricks there as well.
Yeah, you showed me before. Yeah, so you're getting bricks through at you. I just don't get it.
Well, we found somewhere else yesterday, but it looks like they're hanging out of the window and shooting seagulls, so we don't think it's.
Oh, that's definitely not a good idea, then, is it?
Seagulls all over the grass.
How do you think other people view you? Because right now you're in a car park, and I'll be honest, everybody that I've seen get out the car straight away, they look at this tent up here, and you can.
I mean, there's some nice people that did come like about a week ago. They gave us a big bottle of water, and they gave us like a few changes to just get us something to eat.
That's nice, isn't it?
The people basically told us to put it up here because they said they're safe as well because of the cameras around the car park on that part there.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why it's here, because the Blackpool big people told us to put it on the top so it'll be more safe for us.
You do get the nice ones, don't you? But you can, you can get the. I've seen some there with like a look of disgust on the face.
It's like my clothes as well. It's like all my clothes are damaged. I've got hardly anything. Like they've drenched, mould, damp, smelling.
All I've got is this.
Yeah. People don't think of that, do they?
No.
What would you say is the hardest thing about being on the streets?
Sleeping in the tent with hardly anything, like with no food, no water, no nothing basically. All that we're sleeping on is 2 double blankets and a king size blanket on top, and then we've got this to keep us warm with.
Yeah.
And I had to, and someone bought me that just to keep me warm.
Yeah.
I'd say the hardest thing about being on the streets is not knowing if that you're gonna be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the safety aspect.
Yeah, the safety aspect is like, it's really unreal, like, because you don't know who's walking past your tent, who's gonna like jump on you, or
Feel on edge all the time.
yeah, because that's what happened to me when I was living in Rochdale. My partner just went round the corner to see his
I
mum.
don't hardly sleep at the night time on the streets because of my past. Because when I got beat up and they tried to claw my eyeballs out with the fingers, that's why I don't sleep.
And with me, I don't really sleep anyway because my PTSD kicks more often on the night than it
about
is during the
3
day.
hours sleep every night. The last 2 nights, because we've been in hotels, we've been sleeping a lot better.
Yeah.
But last night, because the bed was really comfy, I could not sleep.
It was too comfortable.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're not used to comfort. You're not.
No, we're not used to it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's absolutely crazy.
Like when we was living in Rochdale, I got attacked a few times while I've been asleep. People being drunk just literally jumped onto the tent and landed on me, punched me and kicked me.
My auntie attacked her once on the streets, but she didn't do it in a bad way. She thought it was me and she was kicking, like she was trying to kick my shoe. But it was her and she was kicking her in her leg. And she didn't know it was her.
Nice auntie. What about your mental states now?
My mental health is a lot worse than it was before. I've been on my meds over like nearly 2 months now. And I'm having like mood swings all the time, and I'm getting hot and cold sweats.
I keep catching myself speaking to myself as well recently.
Really?
Yeah, I've been speaking to myself.
Do you still take spice?
No. Not
It's
so.
been clean for 2 years now.
What do you think the meds work?
The ones on the night helps me more, but during the day, no.
There is one that's what makes you really angry. I don't know which one it is, but when you take it, it makes you angry.
It was the aripiprazole on it, but then I changed it to risperidone, and I'm not allowed to have that because it's been a controlled drug.
Yeah.
I need to be self-assessed by the mental health before I can get back on that med.
Yeah. Do you think that dealing with your traumas would help you deal with your mental health?
I try not to think of it, to be honest, because
Yeah.
it just proper tortures me every time I'm like, I've got 2 kids myself. I've got my daughter who I'm losing due to adoption because of social services, and my son as well.
If I think about it, I end up getting depressed and self-harm. I'm not gonna lie.
So you
I'm trying not to self-harm. I've done 2 months about self-harming.
so do you feel suicidal?
Not at the minute, no. But that's because I'm trying to be better for myself instead of like going speaking to people who feel like that. That's why I speak to the big people and stuff.
I always think that speaking does help. You're never going to forget your past. You'll never block that out. But there is ways of dealing with it and putting it in the back of your mind almost. And I just think that's probably the help you might need right now.
I mean, I've tried talking about the traumas that I've gone, but every time I've done it, I've either done stupid stuff like drink or self-harm.
I get why you do that, but it doesn't help, does it?
No.
Doesn't help at all.
I totally understand why you should do that, but it really doesn't help. When was the last time you seen your kids?
I saw my daughter just last year, wasn't it? In January, that was my last contact.
Do you think you'll ever get off the streets?
It's been over a year now. Everywhere we've been, we get told different things like you need to have a local connection, you need to be in the area for so long before the council can do anything. But what I don't get is that the council put all these immigrants in a hotel and won't even help their own people out.
I'm speaking to a charity called Have You Heard Amazing Grace?
No.
It's in Blackpool. They're basically messaging me on Facebook at the minute. They're going to register us for a red bus. Then you sleep on the red bus every night, and then in the end of it, they end up giving you a property.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
good. That's cool.
We've helped 5 people already.
Have you?
They've all got houses.
But if that doesn't help, then there is another foundation called
JJ Lettings.
and also Ashley Foundation as well.
Yeah, I've heard of them, yeah. When I spoke to Salvation Army, I was told about them. So is there anything that you'd like to say to people watching this? Maybe let's start with the people that might judge you.
All that I'm going to say is don't presume that if people are homeless, don't presume that they're on hard drugs, because some of us are.
Yeah.
Some of us are just here. We don't choose to be homeless, but some people do. But don't judge people because they look either on hard drugs or soft drugs. I mean, weed's not bad compared to crack and heroin.
Yeah.
And that's what people judge me about, because I smoke weed. They think like she's going to spend money on weed. And it's like, well, I ain't got a bank
I don't really
account.
smoke weed that much anymore anyway.
No.
You have like the odd split here and there at the night time, but you don't buy it.
No.
To be honest, we shouldn't judge if you do anyway, because if that's blocking out your traumas and if it's helping you get through, then who are we to judge?
It's helping with my PTSD as well, to help me sleep on the night, because I keep having that really bad, severe nightmares and stuff.
How can people get in touch then? Because I know you're on TikTok. What's your name on TikTok?
Blackpool Homeless Couple.
Blackpool Homeless Couple. So people can see you on there. You go live quite a bit.
It's like with the logo that I've got on mine. It's got like a hand with a white logo.
Stand with speed up.
Right. So if we can get through there, and that's how people can help you out.
Well, the one with the 4,000 followers on, we can't get on because that's on my phone that's smashed.
Right.
I dropped it by accident. But the one with the 3,000 followers, she can get on. That's what she does live.
Okay.
Which is Blackpool Couple Homeless. That's
Blackpool Couple Homeless. Everyone, go on TikTok. Go and help these out, and you've heard their story. Let's not judge. Let's help them out as much as we can. Thanks very much for your time today.
It's fine.
Thank you.